This episode is being brought to you by Adele's Surf Spot, where you can treat yourself to fabulous milkshakes, good burgers, and Adele's famous fries. In her own words, you'll love them. Time to start the show. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And today we're just gonna go ahead and finish up the review of the movies, because you know what? It's like we done did Morphin, Power Rangers 2017. We done did the Turbo movie. So we're just like, why not just go ahead and review the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, 1995? Like,
I can't believe we actually went backwards without knowing.
We really did.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that.
We went backwards.
We did. We really did. We were just like, unintentionally.
This is not planned, guys. We totally just winged it.
We totally winged it. It was just like, oh, well, why not talk about these movies and go backwards?
So now we're back to number one, guys.
We are back to number one.
The original.
Y'all, first of all, can we just do a little character overview? Because you know, maybe some of the listeners out there might be millennials. Well, not millennials, but like Generation X
Gen Z
people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Gen Z. We're Generation X, right? We're Gen X, right?
No, that's like before us.
Gen X is before us?
Yes.
No, Gen X is after us.
So
No.
Wait,
don't you remember the song?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we're millennials, so we're not Gen X. That was before us.
So we're Gen Y.
I guess so.
So then,
okay, and then Gen Z is after us.
Okay.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, Z
people.
Yes, those people. So maybe Gen Z might not know these people. They might not, you know. But
wow.
I mean, they know it. They know who they are. But you know. But still, we're just gonna go ahead and talk about the actors and the characters of the show anyway, because I mean they look a little different. They're dressed a little different than they would in the TV show. Like, especially the three newcomers, Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. They're not dressed the same. Like, they don't really, they're not given what they would give on the TV show in a sense. So looking at these characters, because I had to pull them up. I had to pull them up on my phone and get a good look at them. Looking at them, to be truthfully honest with you, like there were some, like their outfits, they look a little not adult, but they don't look like 15-year-olds in those outfits. Do you know what I'm saying? Or is it just me?
I mean, did they
because
ever
I know this is the
like...
90s.
I was just gonna say the 90s, everyone looked older. Like they all looked older. Even like the 70s, the 80s, everyone seemed to look older. I remember like
not in the face. I don't mean in the face. I mean their clothes.
No, that's what I mean. They tend to look older, like they dress older. I remember when we were kids, we used to be like, wow, we don't look anything like them because we dress more, because we were born in the 90s. Well, we're from the 90s, right? So like our outfits were a little bit more.
I'm an 80s baby.
I'm the only 90s baby here.
He's the only 90s.
I mean, I feel like I mean, in a way, I'm kind of a 90 because I was born the last day of the whole year. But not the point. Though the point is, we all grew up in the 90s, and I remember the 90s. We didn't dress as mature as the 70s, 80s, and the early and like the early 90s dress. Like they dress very mature. I feel like we dress a little more slutty. Remember with our low rise jeans, with our little like tube tops.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like in the night, like for them, I kind of felt like since they were the early 90s, like, well, I guess mid 90s, like in the mid 90s, like definitely short shorts were definitely in. Like obviously they were totally in, and of course crop tops and everything was in as well. But I'm just kind of looking at them like some of y'all look a little old. Like y'all are like kind of dressed a little old. Like Billy and Adam, those and Rocky. Those two, I'm like three. Well, sorry, three. Those three, I'm kind of looking like y'all look like somebody's like daddy or something. Like those are dad outfits. Like Rocky had on a whole like plaid shirt tucked in with his shirt like tucked in his pants with a belt on and some combat boots. Like I'm just like, wait a minute. Like you look old. Like this doesn't look young to me. Like Adam, even though Adam was kind of dressed like Zach in the comic, not in the little coloring books, that was totally Zach's outfit in the coloring book. But I'm like, Adam looked old. Like he was dressed old in that outfit. Like he didn't look like a teenager. And Billy didn't either.
Can I also say, do you not notice that they all wore white? Like they all matched.
Right.
They all wore white. They all wore a white top. And obviously with a little pop of colors. But if the pop of colors didn't like make sense, they would wear all white. Just white. I feel like Kim and Tommy had the most cute matching couples outfit ever.
Oh yeah, like for sure.
They both wore the similar top with like no sleeve, with like the V-neck, round neck line. Hers was like super crop. His was like sort of crop, and like the only thing that was different was like their shorts. That was it.
Right. Well, he had on pants like those like MC Hammer pants, but
right.
Yeah.
Those not look good on her.
Those were terrible. Oh. They were terrible, Your Honor.
I wonder what the thought process was behind the universal white that everybody was rocking.
Well, maybe. Well, for one, they probably were trying to make them trying to like color coat them and try to make them as bright as possible, because this was a bright world. It wasn't like a dark and gritty kind of world, because if you notice, like depending on the clothes, and the clothes really set the tone. So if you do like really darker colors, really earthier colors, that's setting the tone of the movie to be of the world to be a little darker. Whereas if you just do a lot of bright colors like whites and brighter colors like that, that's why if you notice, like even their Ranger colors were like super bright. Like their outfits, they were super bright. Like Kimberly had on those loud ass pink shorts. Like Aisha had on those loud ass yellow shorts. Like it was just like everything was loud and bold and bright, because that's the kind of tone, that's the kind of setting that they wanted to have.
Even their new uniform was pretty loud too.
Yeah, they were like super bright. Like the colors were bright.
At first, I thought you were going to say they wanted to make them look pure.
No,
I mean that could be something too. Honestly, it really could.
I don't see it being pure, but you could be right though.
You know, make them look goody good, like good people. Yeah, I totally see that. Like they're good people. I mean, like they're not bad people. But
good people wear white.
Oh boy, that's another subject for another day.
But you're right though. They do look like dads. I mean, they all look fine as dads. I mean, hello.
They do. They look. Yeah.
Say.
Billy had his coming out party. No glasses.
Oh my God. I don't know what I thought you meant when you said that. I was like, wait a minute. When did Billy come out as gay? What
Not David Billy. He's no longer a geek officially.
Jesus Christ.
It's funny. I thought the exact same thing, Brennan. So I'm with you there.
Like,
when he said that, I was like, when did he come out gay? Because I don't recall him coming out gay. Ever.
It's like, whoa. I was like, well, wait a minute. But no, like, you're right. Like, that was like the moment of like, wait a minute, Billy's not wearing glasses. Okay, Billy, we see you. And he had the guns out.
Yes.
I was like, we see you with the muscles. Come on through. And of course, the biggest offender, poor Karen. Now, I'm sorry. I know she was new. And I know she was probably like, I'm just happy to do this movie. I'm just happy to be here. But baby, if I wouldn't have been trying to be like, yo, this Australian heat and me in this sweatshirt, I don't know. And I got a head full of weave in. Like, listen, it's hot. I wear weave all the time. And baby, ooh, it gets hot under all that hair. Like it get to a point where you're just like, yo, like that's why during the summer, if I do wear weave in the summer, I have to put it in the ponytail. I have to. I cannot wear it hanging down because it will literally just like encompass heat. Like you will literally, it like attracts heat. And I'm like, and not only did she have long, like weave, but it was like all the way down her back. So that plus a sweatshirt, like.
That was an interesting decision for sure. I wonder what went behind that.
I wonder too. And I'm pretty sure that they probably already had that decided for like, probably for Trini, maybe. They probably
I can't see Trini wearing that.
I can see her wearing that.
Especially with how she looked before she left. That just didn't fit at all. A sweatshirt on Trini.
I agree with Will. I don't see that.
I can see the shorts.
I see, you know what I can really see her do?
Know about that.
I see her doing like a white top with yellow bright shorts with like the spenders.
Oh,
I can see that.
Wow, that sounds cool. A belly top.
Kind of something like how the pilot Trini wore, like a top like that.
Yeah.
And,
with spenders. The spenders, so you know, but like kind of like allow like yellow shorts, just like the one Aisha has or like Kimberly has, but no like print. And like I can see her wearing like high socks with yellow on it and like white sneakers. Or combat.
So basically the bottom half of Aisha's outfit, but not the sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, like I feel you. I actually see that too. Actually, I kind of see it. I see that. But like my thing is, I'm like, I understand they wanted to have difference, but in like outfits, but damn, that's a whole sweatshirt though. Like that's a sweatshirt. I know sister was hot. I know that. Like I don't know. Like I said, I know she was new. And it was like, I don't want to say nothing. Because, I mean, a lot of the actors have said this before, where they were like, they don't want to, you know, contest too much. Like, they don't want to be like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to do too much. But it's like, damn, like, also, that's your safety, though. Like, I mean, y'all filming in like, the heats of Australia. And like you got on a whole sweatshirt, like that's not okay. Like somebody from the costume department should have been like, you know what, this sweatshirt, nah, this might give this girl a heat stroke. Like let's not do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't have her show more skin because she was already showing her legs, but you would have thought that they would have had her show her arms.
Right. Because I mean, it's not like she didn't. Like on the show, like girl was showing skin on the show. So it's like, what's the problem? Like, why didn't they give her like? I mean, I could even see them giving her like a tank top T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like a little crop top T-shirt or something like that to wear. Something, you know. But just to give her a whole sweatshirt, I'm like, oh, y'all did her dirty. Y'all did her dirty. I'm like, but she still rocked it well. You know, she still rocked it and she still looked badass in it. I'm just like, ooh, child. Like, baby, I don't know if I could have done it. I would have been complaining the entire time. Like, y'all got me fucked up. Y'all got me messed up. But needless to say, I mean, they did their thing. But we're gonna go ahead and get right into this movie. So, first of all, we start on an airplane. Everybody all pop in, one by one. And that was a cute intro. Like each one of them popped up. Intro. It was so cute. Like all of them just pop up and they say their little, their little line, all introducing themselves in a sense. Now, for many of us, this movie came out right around the time of the power transfer. So it would be a little jarring if you look back around the time of this movie and be like, wait a minute. Wait. Wait, who are these new people? Like, it would be so weird to all of a sudden be like, wait a minute, who are these new people popping up like that? Especially if you were kind of like watching the show in and out and weren't really following it. And the last thing you remember was Jason, Zach, and Trini. And then you're like, oh, let me go see the movie. And then all of a sudden you see Rocky, Adam, and Aisha pop up. It's like, who are these three? So like, it was a little jarring. It was a little jarring. I'm pretty sure it was a little jarring for some kids to see at that time.
Wow. I didn't know that was a thing for some people.
Oh yeah. I've seen plenty of conversations of people being like, as a kid, they were like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. Because remember, like they were filming all of this stuff like all at the same time. So like it's like,
yeah,
as the show was airing, the movie was also coming out at the same time. So if you weren't watching it religiously, and the last thing you saw was Jason, Zach, and Trini, and then you seen the movie and was like, oh, like, what is people?
Nuts.
Like that's kind of messed up in a sense, and like. It's like, well, they could have we know they couldn't have handled it any better, but it's just kind of like, damn, like these new people just popping up.
They could have handled it better by paying those kids what they deserve, but
well, that's we're not touching that. We're not touching that. But hell, they were making what, McDonald's money, but yet
in the 90s
of billions of dollars, right? In the 90s, not right now, but in the 90s, making McDonald's money, and the brand was worth like what, $1 billion at this point. But anyway, but yeah, so they were they popping up, doing a little thing, saying their little lines, and then Bulk and Skull obviously there too. And they're just like, we are not jumping, and everybody else are like, screw you, we are. And
oh my god!
Now the gag is, I'm like, y'all had to make the black girl go first.
Oh wow! I didn't even. Wow!
Y'all had to make her go first though. Like Aisha, you're up. Really? I'm first. Like, oh, okay.
Maybe they went for alphabetical order. No.
Maybe. But then again,
Billy
it's like,
second?
No, Adam was next. And then Billy.
Oh.
And then Rocky.
Maybe they did.
So maybe they did go alphabetical, elephant, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm trying to say.
Alphabetical?
Yeah. Alphabetical order. There you go. Maybe they did.
But remember though, Rocky went next and then Kimberly went after. So Kimberly technically should have went before Rocky.
Well, she's the second in command in the movie, so.
And plus, you want to go with Tommy.
Right. This is true. This is true.
You can't
split
up
they just
the
like
lover.
swap the two.
This is true.
And she was like, show him your stuff.
Right? I was just about to say where she was like,
well, no, actually, Kimberly went last. Tommy went before her.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh, she did. Yeah.
She was on the flip side to Broken Skull.
And then she like did a backflip out of the she did a backflip out of the plane.
Oh my god, those guys almost jumped without a damn parachute.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh. So yeah, like to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, like while we're reviewing this, Kimberly was kind of like the leader in a sense. Like, I mean, Tommy was a leader, but like Kimberly really was like
she really was
a leader in this movie. Like she really was. That is so interesting, especially like with the fact of like her beginnings in the show. Like she was like literally the girl of the group. If you were to like do like characterizations, like she would be considered the girl. And like literally she went from being the girl to being like a pseudo leader, like second in command leader. Like that's kind of cool.
That's really
cool. Like that's cool. Big ups to Kimberly. Like that's what's up. So of course they're doing all the little flip-de-doos and stuff, and you know, flipping all in the air, doing their thing. And so apparently they were doing this for the whatever thing for the Ryan's comment, whatever that was. First of all, can I just say that they participate in a lot of weird shit that just makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's like some of the stuff that they participate in just makes no sense. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, what is the benefit here? Like, why? But whatever. So they're doing this little thing, and then like you have Fred and his daddy down there, and like apparently Fred daddy, his group sucked, and so his son was making fun of him or whatever because one of them landed in the parking lot. But anyway, so coincidentally, all the Rangers landed on the red circle. But then Tommy, of course, had to, sway out, to make his grand entrance to kind of make it look like, oh, shoot.
On his airboard.
Right. On his little airboard, surfing his way in. They was just like, oh, he's looking a little wide. And then like and then he hits the target. Duh, we knew that. So then of course, we get a better introduction of Fred and his dad. And of course, they are setting this up because obviously these are going to be characters in the movie. They're going to be essential characters. So we're getting a little characterization with them. They're getting a little conversation. And then, of course, Aisha got to throw the shade because she's the black girl. So she has to throw the shade. So then, of course, Bulk and Skull, they're still in the airplane. They are still there. Like, people done went about their day. People are like, they done got out their little air suits, getting coffee, whatever. These mugs still sitting in the airplane, and the pilot is like, y'all gonna jump or not? Like, because if you're not, you can go ahead and head back. And then they're like, finally, we're gonna go ahead and jump. They jump, screaming like idiots. Cut to them, the Rangers, skating. And
how did they even get that so quick? Like, where do they magically have skates?
Listen, I feel like honestly, Bulk and Skull was in that plane for a while. They had time to change and get their skates. Like, they had time to do a lot. So Bulk and Skull was in that plane for a very long time.
Very long time.
If you think about it, they were in there for a minute. And so, of course, the Rangers are, skating through downtown Angel Grove, you know what I'm saying, having a little fun. And it's so funny, rewatching that scene, I never realized it, but Tommy is in the back the entire time, struggling. Not struggling, but struggling. I mean, if you really look at it, take a really good look at him in the back. Like, he is like really struggling back there. And it's actually due to the fact that JDF could not skate. So like most of the time, like he really could not skate. So most of the time, like he was out of focus. Like everybody else was in front of him, blocking him. And the only time that you saw him skating was his stunt double.
What? I did not know this.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
He could not skate in real life.
I thought he knew how to skate. What a way to crush my dream, JDF.
There's one thing that he cannot do. That is
there's many things he can't do. We just don't know what else yet.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about as far as like, martial arts and stuff. Like he can do all of those things, but that's one thing he can't do.
Right.
That's crazy.
I did not
know. You think he'd be really good with balance?
Right. Nah. No. He was like, I am struggling. I am struggling. So yeah, like the whole entire time that during this scene, he is like in the back and everybody else is blocking him. And yeah, so they're like doing a little skating thing. Finally, Bulk and Skull, they're landing and they land at a construction site, apparently far away from the actual event.
Of course.
Like they were super far from the event.
All that struggle, the plane was probably like, we're not going to put you on target. We've gone past our target like 30 miles ago. Like, y'all need to figure out your way home.
Figure it out.
You see how these two are struggling. You wouldn't have somebody fly out with them.
So,
you know what's
funny? Wouldn't.
You know what's funny? Fun fact. I was skydiving because of this movie, and I actually learned, and I'm not sure about other parts of the world, but in Canada, it's actually a thing that you cannot skydive by yourself for the first time ever. You actually have to be skydiving with a trained skydiver. So the fact that Bosco is on their own without having ever done any training baffles my mind. Baffles my mind. And kudos for them to actually jump because it's flippity scary when you actually do it. So kudos to them. I know they didn't actually do it, but you know what I mean. Like for the movie's sake, they did it. So kudos to them.
Right. Like I was just literally like, so nobody gonna help these boys jump? Like y'all just gonna just push them out and just, do whatever? Like, how is this working? But hey, whatever. Whatever. So they landing at the construction site looking crazy. And, the man is like, one of the men was like, what are y'all doing? And they just like, they start bullying him. I'm like, how y'all bully a grown ass man? Like, what?
Wow.
Like, that was just like, I was literally, like, when I think about it, I'm like, yo, Bulk and Skull, they were like, they had balls. Because like, y'all really were like, y'all were tripping, like hardcore. Like they literally was giving this man a hard time and they in the wrong. Like, what? But anywho.
They have the audacity.
But, finally, the man was like, he got called and they were like, we gonna go ahead and go feed our faces at Ernie's, since Ernie's, I guess, was like right there. So they could just like leave the construction site and just walk right to Ernie's. But whatever.
And not return any of the gear.
Not return any of the gear. But, whatever. So, they went ahead, the men are at the little construction site. They pull up, like, they see this little, in this grave looking, tombstone looking thing in the ground. First of all, if I would have seen something that has like a demonic face there, I'm not touching it.
No.
I'm getting far away from there.
You know why, right? Because let's be honest here. We color folks, we die first. No, we're not touching that. Let's be honest.
I didn't think you were going to even bring that up. I was thinking that, but
it's true. We color folks, we die first, okay? So we're smarter than that now. We don't want to die first.
Oh, listen. If you notice, you ain't seen no black people there though.
No.
Yeah.
You ain't seen no black construction workers there.
You know what?
You ain't
We
seen
knew
none.
better. We knew better.
I bet you there were some working there, but when they saw that thing, they saw that little thing there, they was like, I'm out.
They're like, I'm out of here. Bye.
Y'all ain't gonna kill me today. Bye. I don't make enough.
Bye.
Not for this.
Right? I'm telling you, man. Like, we gotta learn fast. Otherwise we'd be dying real quick. Just saying.
Real quick. So they was like, nah, we getting up out of here. What? So, they pulled up this little thing or whatever, and an egg literally comes like floating out the bitch. First of all, a whole purple egg come rising. There were so many signs of you need to get the hell out of here. And none of them took it. No. I'm like, y'all are the stupidest people ever. First of all, let's backtrack like 2 seconds. You see this thing in the ground with a demonic face on it. That's sign number 1. You pull it up, a whole purple egg come out with a hand. That's sign number 2. Like, what are you doing? Why are you still here at this point? Like, you need to leave. No.
Yeah.
They're still standing around looking at it like, what's going on? What is this? And then you get this one dude who decides, I'm going to go and touch it like a dumbass. Gets electrocuted and fly back like 10 feet. Like, I rejoice in that scene. I get my biggest laugh from that scene because I'm like, you're an idiot. You get what you deserve. I hope you're in the hospital for a while. Like, you are an idiot.
You know what? This is giving me flashbacks of the astronauts who opened up Rita's dumpster.
Exactly.
Like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? You literally see a space trash dumpster on the moon and you're going to open it?
Yeah, like I would want to just leave it be, but you would think that they would have at least tried to like take it with them instead of opening it right then and there. But I would have left it.
I would have left it. Like, if I see something that just looked like it just doesn't belong, I'm going to leave it right there because I'm like, it looked like it's probably trouble. So I'm going to leave it. Not doing that. But of course, the guy, he gets electrocuted and he's sitting there barely breathing. And it's like, oh God. So the Rangers, they're still skating. They are like literally at the front door at Ernie's. Like, I felt bad for them because I'm like, they about to go stuff their faces. And right before they can walk in the door, Zordon is like, oh, we calling. It's like, damn. All right. So, they go and they answer the call and do their little teleportation. Now, I'm sorry. I have to say this, y'all. Now, the communicators actually look kind of cool. A lot of people didn't even know they were different. But I recognized the difference in those communicators immediately.
I think I did too.
They kind of look like Sports Watch, didn't they?
They kind of look like what?
Sports Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like sports watches. Like, I was like, oh, so they actually look like they're blending in with society. Like, because to me, they kind of look like, what are those watches called? Oh gosh. I see the G-Shocks.
Yeah, the sports watches. I know exactly what you're talking about. I was thinking,
like they look like G-Shocks.
They do.
I was like, oh wow. Like, they actually look really cool. I really like them. But the teleportation, there was a little to be desired. I mean, this is supposed to be a whole movie. I understand that, this is a movie. I understand that this is like, they doing their thing or whatever. But it's a shame when the TV show teleportation looks a little bit better than the movie one. I didn't like the movie teleportation. I don't know. Maybe it was the little sparkles that come over them before the color appears or what. I don't know, but I didn't like it.
I thought it was strange that they were doing that because, like, I remember the first time it happened, I thought they lit up on fire.
Okay.
Wow.
You have to remember, this is like young version me, okay? Like 5-year-old me, okay? Just saying. You can't be fooling us with sparkles, okay? Just saying.
No, seriously. Like it was weird because it was just like they just kind of felt like I don't know, like I didn't like the little sparkles that came up. Like I like the TV show, it looked like electricity. But here it just kind of looked like little, I don't know. I didn't like it. I really didn't. It was like they kind of phased and then the color came up and I was like, all right, I guess. Like, I guess it's a thing. So yeah, like I mean, they just kind of floated off, went to the command center. They're doing it, and then of course Zordon is like, he's giving him the whole lowdown of Ivan
Exposition.
right? Explaining the entire movie to us, and everybody's listening to Zordon tell this tale, and so we get back to the construction site, and Rita, Zed, Goldar, and Mordant.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Like
that I think most people are wondering who that was and why did they act like we're supposed to know who he is.
Exactly. They really was acting like we were supposed to know who Mordant was. And I'm like, but who is he though? Like, what? And the character design just looks so weird. Like you had a pig with a nose ring.
Oh.
Okay. And he had the one little bifocal thing over his eye. I'm like,
I mean, Squat had a nose ring. Where the hell was Squat?
But Squat looked like an alien. He didn't look like a pig.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? Like, my whole thing was if Mordant had like time in the show, like not the show, but time in the movie for us to see that he actually is a formidable opponent or something, then maybe I would be like, go Mordant. But he was just like there for jokes and snorting like a pig.
I mean, he was basically what Squat and Babu were, but just one body.
One body, yeah. Like,
I could have dealt with Squat and Babu. Was gone too. Finster wasn't there either.
Finster wasn't there either. Like, I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of that character. It's like, could have had a V8. That's me. Even as a kid, I was just like, I don't like this character at all. But okay,
I just didn't give a damn, honestly, because like who? Yeah, like you said, who are you? Why are you here? I've never seen you before, and you're not actually offering anything.
That's why I didn't like him. Like all the points that you're hitting, I didn't like him for that reason. I was like, you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. Like you messing up the feng shui. Like you could have given me Squat, you could have given me Babu, you could have given me even given me Finster and just made him a comic relief character just for that one time. Like you could have done that, but you just made a completely new character for what? I was like, okay, whatever. So they all come in, Rita looking flawless. Whoever this lady was, she was not the TV show Rita. But Miss Carla Perez. What is that her? No, it was Julia Cortez. Carla Perez was in the show. Julia Cortez was the movie. Yes. So, she came up there, looking flawless, honey. I mean, she was snatched. But, she came in being cute. And so they're talking. Lord Zed even had himself a little upgrade. And they basically Lord Zed basically electrocuted the security guards. I'm like, okay, great, thanks. And then, of course, they crack the egg, and Ivan Ooze pops up. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, the Ooze is back. Like, hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? And Rita is like, she got the hots for him. Like, she is like, yo, who is this fine man? Like, yes. So, of course,
I check because.
Well, I mean, look, she's an alien. Like, she probably think alien bacteria is hot.
Oh.
Like, she's just like, ooh, look at you, looking all sexy and squiggly. But I mean, she just was like, he cute. And so, Lord Zed is like, we want you to kill Zordon. And he's like, of course, he has a hissy fit. And it's like, Zordon. Oh. I'm like, okay. So then, of course, they leave after, giving him his instructions. And he's like, I'll go ahead and get Zordon or whatever. They go ahead and leave. He smells the Rangers a mile away before they even get there, which I'm like, damn. But so they get there. They're like, well, we need to go ahead and find, investigate this egg. So when they got there, the egg was already open. And they're just like, ugh, this thing stank, which I can imagine. And so the security guard grabs him and it's like, well, he doesn't grab him, but he like turns him around. They're like, oh, and he's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, and Kim was like, well, have you seen some kind of like alien just randomly walking around here? Like, girl, first of all, ain't nobody going
a morphological being. How the fuck would he know what that is?
Exactly. Like, girl, be specific. Alien. Like a morphological being. I'm like, I agree with him. I agree with the man. Like, security guard, yes, you are correct. What the heck is that? But anyway. And then he was like, did you mean something like this? And then he just like, he just turns into Ivan Ooze before their eyes. And so, now, mind you, Ivan Ooze gives this amazing monologue. First of all of Ivan Ooze's monologues were gems. I don't care what anyone says. He has some of the best lines in the entire movie.
Yeah, I don't think too many people disagree with you on that one.
Oh no. And if they did, like, they need to be attacked because it's like, you cannot tell me that character did not run the movie. Like, he moved the entire movie. And you had to have a thespian play that character. Like, you couldn't just have any old actor play Ivan Ooze. Like, that had to be a thespian, like a true actor to play that kind of character. Because those were like legit monologues he was doing. Like, oh my God, just fantastic. Like, I was like, oh, love this character. So, he's throwing shade, at them or whatever, being like, Power Rangers, girl, bye. So, he summons his little ooze men. And, the Rangers, and then he goes ahead and teleports away and leaves them to fight the ooze men. Now, this fight, one of the best fights ever. Like, I love that fight.
So 90s.
It's so 90s, but it's so good. It's so good. Love it. I love that fight. So they're kicking ass, doing their thing. And of course, they get overpowered because the ooze man is like, what's good? Like, y'all came to Bam, like, let's do this.
Yo, wait. You saying that instantly reminded me of Adam getting punched and doing like this ridiculous spin on the ground.
Like, that actually came out of nowhere and was like, what?
Right. And we actually saw some of the Rangers getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
Which is different than the show.
Like, Rocky got bitch slapped by one of them. I was like, oh, oh God. So it was like, oh, they really getting their behinds kicked by these little ooze men. So of course they were like, you know what, we need to up the ante. Let's morph. So they had a completely different morph sequence. One of the commenters on our Instagram page pointed this out when I made the post about the Power Rangers doing almost the same choreography as the Die Rangers. Actually, that choreography they did, Kimberly did as her choreography in the movie. And I was like, you are exactly right, because that's true. She did literally the same choreography that they did in that one episode. I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, they all kind of had their own little revised versions of their own little standard little personal moves. And so, first of all, they doing all this foolishness, flipping through the air, lightning crashing, doing their thing, landing, giving us heroic poses. And them ooze men was like, okay, girl, we had enough. Like, let's just go ahead and get the hell out of here. And by the time they was done, like, them men, they were gone. And I'm like, y'all didn't recognize them running while y'all was doing all of y'all.
They weren't paying attention.
Like, y'all didn't recognize, y'all didn't even realize it. They were just like, all right, we out. Like, I swear you saw like a tumbleweed like roll back. And it's just like, damn, like that's messed up. So of course they're like, let's find them, let's go ahead and look for them. Cut to the command center. Ivan Ooze gets in, even though he's not supposed to be able to get in because he doesn't have a power coin. But obviously Ivan Ooze is Ooze and he can just slide in. But anyway, he gets in and basically delivers another great monologue and basically just wrecks shop and destroys the place. Which Zordon was, dying. I was like, damn, like your whole life force is connected to this bitch. That's messed up. But so destroyed the whole place, messed everything up. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the Rangers are walking through the little construction site area. And they're just like, walking through. Now, mind you, Tommy asked for some light. Why Aisha bust out with some headlights? I'm like, I would have been mad.
I was just that would have been my special weapon. I was just about to bring that up. And it's funny how Tommy, the thing I noticed too, like how he just knew she had the headlights.
Well, that was probably her power.
She probably used them before.
Or Trini. Trini probably had them before her.
If Trini existed in this world.
Well, that's true. That's true. Because apparently in the previous scripts, technically the power transfer did happen in the previous script. But in this movie, they made no type of awareness of, in this world, Zach, Trini, and Jason ever existed. So Aisha could have been the very first Yellow Ranger of this universe. So more than likely, Aisha probably used these headlights before. And he was just like, yo, bring out these lights though. And she was like, I got you. And you just bust out headlights off your helmet. But the thing is, it's like, them headlights ain't shining on nothing. They ain't hitting on nothing. So of course, Rocky is like, well, let me go ahead and bring out my scanner. You should have done that the first time.
Hideous.
It was ugly.
Hideous.
It was ugly.
When he did that, I thought, what happened to his face? Like, that is hideous. And again, he did nothing. Because it's like, oh, I can't pick them up. Like, they're nowhere to be found. Even though they were like right behind him.
Just like running all around them. Like stalking them. And I was like, we still can't find them.
What?
But the funniest part to me though. Now, and I want to say this too. They kind of reminds me of Cyclops' little optic things that he wears. That's what they remind me of, honestly. But the funny part of this scene was when Rocky picks it up and it kind of just run past. Okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly what that scene reminds me of. When that ooze man goes running by, have anyone seen Scary Movie? Was it Scary Movie 3 or Scary Movie 4? I can't remember. But it's a scene where the guy, he's like, it's a newscaster and he was doing like something on the news. And you see this alien goes like walking like right behind him. And he just keeps crossing through as the guy is doing doing his news thing. And it's so funny how that Oozman just goes trotting by, like trying not to get caught. It was hilarious to me. But anyway, so the Rangers are like, oh, we got him. Then all of a sudden, all these Oozmen just come out of nowhere and just start ganging up on them. And the Rangers have to defend themselves. Now, mind you, what cracks me up about this scene is that even though the fight, like the choreography is so hardcore, they managed to camp it up. They really were doing headshots in this scene. Like in this fight, like they were legit doing headshots. Like they were making the mugs explode. Like it was pretty graphic for Power Rangers. Like they were pulling out all the stops. So I'm actually impressed that they were actually able to camp it up as much as they did. So kudos to Jeff Pruitt and the stunt team because they did their thing. So then of course, they round them up, round up the remaining Oozmen, and then Tommy calls out Saba. Oh, not to mention we got Billy and Kimberly with their own little personal weapons, which I'm like, oh, so y'all give Billy and Kimberly actual legit active weapons, but you give Rocky and Aisha like stuff that don't even work. Like they can't even use that stuff in a fight. Like what Aisha gonna do? Like cut on headlights so she can blind them? Like
and the headlights don't even work. It doesn't even work.
Right. Like they're not even that bright to like, to like illuminate the place. Like they're literally car headlights, if that. I'm like, really? I'm like, all right, whatever. But Kimberly has her little thunder whip, and Billy has his, Stega Stinger. And they doing their little thing. And then Tommy calls out Saba. Saba uses his little IBs, drops the thing on them. They explode, splat. And then they're like, all right, we're about to go find Ivan. Oh, snap. What's happening to us? And then literally they lose their powers. So they're like, what are we doing? What's happening? What's going on? And so they can't get in touch with Alpha or Zordon. So they're like, well, let's hurry up and get back to the command center and see what's popping. So they go ahead and go back to the command center. And first of all, they see Ooze, which, sign, Ivan Ooze has been here. So they open the door, and Kimberly lets out this scream that I'm like, oh, girl, that's extra. Like, girl, ain't nobody there. You just screaming for what? Like, stop it. So she's screaming, and then like everybody's looking at the destruction. And so, Kimberly spots Zordon like laying in this pile of glass or crystal or whatever it is. And this mug is wearing a muumuu. I'm like,
God.
Yo, Zordon is wearing a whole muumuu. I'm like, oh man, they really played my man, yo. They played my man good. So he's just laying in a pile of crystals in a muumuu and dying. And they just like, well, we gotta get him back in. And he's just like, nah, ain't no getting me back in. Like, I'm gone. And so is your powers and your Zords. Like, we screwed. Zordon won. Not Zordon. Ivan Ooze won. And it's just like, dang, like,
since when does he give up so easily?
Easily. Zordon was like, yo, it's over. I'm dead. It's over. Y'all can go home. Y'all can go home. It's over. And they're just like, yo, like, oh man. And then of course Alpha comes out of nowhere with the deets, you know what I'm saying? He comes out of nowhere with the T, and it's like, yo, there's a whole power on this place called Phaedos, but it's dangerous though, and y'all can get killed if y'all go there. You know what I'm saying? And then like Rocky is like, well, shit. If something happened, that's how we gonna get back. And then Kim is like, yo, we gotta hope the power is there. You know what I'm saying? Because Zordon's life is dependent on it. And so Alpha is like, are y'all going or not? And it's like, we gonna go. And Tommy is like, yo, but remember, we Power Rangers no matter what. Nah, bro, y'all ain't got no powers. Y'all not Power Rangers, but whatever. So Alpha went ahead and he used the last little transport core to get them to Phaedos. Now, as they're flying through, Rita Repulsa, you know what I'm saying? She is like, you know, she is pissed because she sees them teleporting. And she's like, well, where the heck these fools going? Like, I mean, the job is not done. Ivan didn't do what he was supposed to do. So then Ivan come walking in like, what's up, bitches? I'm home. And then she's like, don't be doing that because you ain't did your job. Like you did not do your job. You were supposed to handle everybody. And he's like, hush, honey, I got this. So he sits down in the throne, pops his feet up. You know what I'm saying? Pop his feet on the coffee table. I mean, Ivan was like, yo, I run this. And Lord Zed was like, what you think you doing? You don't run anything. This is my house. What do you think you doing? So, you know, Ivan is like, oh, you don't like me? You don't like me running shit? Well, I got you. I'm going to put you in this little snowball. So they get zapped, got put in the snowball. And so Goldar and Mordant was like, well, we want no parts. We don't want to get put in the snowball. I'm just saying. So, I mean, what you want us to do? So they just completely betrayed Rita and Zed. Like, but I don't blame them. I don't blame Goldar and Mordant. I really don't, because I would have done the same thing. I'm like, oh, you zapping mugs? Never mind. We good. I'll follow you. What you want? I got you. So then, of course, Ivan does this ridiculously nasty thing where he starts snorting and
yeah, that was gross.
That was disgusting. I was like, okay, I can't. So he spits out, he spits out this gunk that becomes the Tengu Warriors, which is actually a different name than the TV show, because in the movie they're Tengu, the TV show they're Tenga. So I was like, interesting. Even though they were the same bird, but whatever.
Right.
It's like, okay. But anywho, so, you know, they ended up doing a little, you know, happy dance before they start flying. And then, of course, we get to Phaedos. And the Rangers are walking through. They're like, you know, this place is gorgeous, but also what the heck is going on? So then Aisha, like this little Marcus, and it's like, we in trouble. So she was like, and I'm the only black girl here, and I see this dead carcass. Man, we are screwed. Well, at least I am anyway. So, so they are, you know, walking through or whatever, and there's this little hooded person with a staff, just, you know, standing there watching them like, I wonder who these motherfuckers is on my damn world. So, of course, we cut back to Earth, and we got Ivan Ooze with Mordant and Goldar, and literally they are at a little plant, and Ivan is like, yo, like, it's time to get this party started. So, of course, he starts activating stuff and getting stuff together, you know what I'm saying, getting ready to, you know, get the party started. So then we cut back to Phaedos. Or did we cut back to Phaedos at the time? You know what? I don't care. We're going to cut back to Phaedos anyway. So we are at Phaedos, and the Rangers are like, all right, so... Oh, wait, is it Fred? Fred and his daddy? No, not yet. No. We're not there yet. We are back at Phaedos. So the Rangers they're going through, and they're walking on the little rocks and stuff. Kimberly stops and she's all like heartbroken and stuff because she's still thinking about Zordon. And Tommy is like, girl, get over it. And then she's like, yeah, you're right. We got to get this power though. And he's like, yeah. So stop thinking about that junk. Let's do this. And she's like, all right. So then a bird come flying right at them and almost tries to take their heads off. And they're like, oh, snap. So then, of course, like, you know, they all start swarming them and trying to attack them. So everybody's trying to defeat these little birds or at least ward them off, but they don't got no powers. So they are doing a terrible job of defending themselves at this point. And basically, Dulcia has to come in and be like, I got this. So, you know, she throws off her hood, revealing her Amazon body. Okay, body was snatched.
Right.
Dulcia breaks the staff, okay? Breaks the staff, and she goes to work. Okay? Start whooping ass. I mean, just whooping ass. So then, of course, it's like she breaks apart. She does her little thing when she starts spinning the little, you know, the little things around and creating the sound that is like, you know, killing their ears, obviously. And so the birds are like, we got to get out of here. So they fly away. And so, you know, Rocky is like, yo, like, girl, you did that. Thank you. And then, like, she smack his hand, like, don't touch me. I don't know you. And she's like, what you doing here? What you want? And like, go home. Like, why are you here? And Aisha's like, girl, if we could, we would. Duh. Like, what you mean? And she was just like, and they were like, well, Billy was like, well, you know, we were told a power was here. You know what I'm saying? And we just came here to get the power and go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't really trying to like mess with nobody. We just here on a mission. And she was like, well, duh, anybody else who came here came for the same thing. Like, and none of them got it. So go home. So then Tommy was like, well, nah, we ain't leaving until we get what we came for because we ain't no failures. You know what I'm saying? And then she put the paws on that ass. She put the paws on him. I said, oh,
that was so funny.
I was like, dang, like really though, don't see her? Like you really got to come for him like that? And she was like, leave. Well, that's your ass. And he was like, damn. And Aisha was like, look, I don't want no parts in this. I don't want you to kick my ass either. But Ari and Zordon got hurt. And she was like, Zordon? Did you say Zordon? And Kimberly was like, yeah. She said Zordon. So what's T? Like, you know him? So she was like, my name is Dulcia, you know, Master Warrior of the planet Phaedos. What happened to my homie? What happened to Zordon? And Adam was like, he got attacked by Ivan Ooze. She was like, Ivan Ooze is free. And Billy was like, you know him? Duh, Billy. And she's like, Ivan Ooze is a monster. Like, if you want to be able to defeat him, y'all got to get this power. Follow me. So of course they're like, all right, well, you know, let's follow the woman then. All right, let's do this. So we cut to Earth where Ivan Ooze is at the fair. And he's surrounded by little kids. This mug was selling lean to little kids. I live. This mug was selling lean to kids. Yes. Thank you, Ivan Ooze. You are the greatest. You are the greatest. So, you know, once again, we cut back to the Rangers. They're heading to the little chateau or whatever. They get to the place and they're overlooking the beautiful land that is going to probably kill them. And Dulcia is like, well, beyond there is where you gotta go, and I'm gonna help you get there, right? I'm gonna give you what you need to get there. We're gonna call upon the power of the Ninjetti for help. So we cut back to Earth. We got Fred's dad driving up, listening to his little country music. And he gets in, he's like, Fred, where you at? So then, you know, Fred, he didn't hear Fred, but he sees this little container on the table. He sees the lean on the table. And he's like, why Fred got lean? What is this? Like, Fred ain't old enough to be drinking no lean. Like, what is going on? So he pull up the container or whatever, and he unscrew it, and he's like, this don't look like the regular lean I'm used to. And so all of a sudden, it just started electrocuting him, and before he know it, he done turned into a zombie. So of course, as he walks outside, all the other parents are zombies too, and they all walking down the street looking crazy. So then we cut to the command center, and Alpha is like, let's give it a whirl. So this lady is this newscaster is doing her thing or whatever, and she's talking about all the missing parents. Then all of a sudden it cuts to a commercial of Ivan Ooze selling lean on TV. You can't get no better than this. I'm like, yo, Ivan Ooze is like, he is a G, dead ass. I don't care what nobody say. He is the best drug dealer of all time. You can't tell me that. You cannot tell me Ivan Ooze is not the best drug dealer of all time. Name a better person, a better drug dealer than Ivan Ooze. Name him. Name a better drug dealer better than Ivan Ooze. You can't. So then, of course, Alpha start freaking out. Zordon is like, yo, like, the world is high. You know what I'm saying? And all the adults be getting killed in this joint. You know what I'm saying? The Rangers are preparing themselves, to get their little ninja power. Dulcia, tells them that each power is inside of them and they have to close their eyes and look deep inside. They look inside. She puts some fairy dust on them. They become ninjas. She gives them each little speeches about how special they are and how their animal relates to them. Gets to Adam, and Adam is like, girl, I'm a frog. What am I supposed to do with this? And she was like, yes, you're a frog. Like the one you kissed to make a handsome prince. I was like, I'm not buying that. Period. I'm not buying it. But anywho, whatever.
I love that. I love he's like, frog? Really?
Just
all the cool animals I could be, I'm a frog?
I'm a whole frog. A whole frog, though.
A whole frog.
Okay, girl.
And I love how she's like, oh, you're gonna, a frog that you kissed to turn into a prince. And he's like, are you trying to say I'm ugly?
Right. Like you got to kiss me to make me cute?
Right? He's like, okay. I'm not buying this, but okay.
I mean, I thought the principle was that he got a kiss from the hot warrior chick.
I mean, that's what it was.
That's what it was. But he still wasn't buying it. He was like, I don't know, man. Something doesn't add up. I'm a whole frog.
I'm a whole frog, though.
Really, though?
That's messed up. That's real messed up.
That's an interesting animal to, have as your, I guess, that represents you.
Right. And then what makes it so weird is that, like, right after, what makes it really messed up is that, like, right after he, does the little frog thing, he gets introduced as a frog. Literally, Tommy gets the speech of, you're the winged lord of the skies. I've been looking at Tommy like, you mother.
Right.
For real? For real? I get a frog.
They got to put him over.
Falcon, though. Okay.
Right?
So of course, Dulcie is like, y'all got to go on this mission, but you got to do it without me. And Aisha was like, hold up, Alpha. You gonna give us this power and you ain't gonna even come with us? And
right? She's like, we're gonna die for nothing?
Right. Like, we might end up getting killed. And she's like, well, that's your problem. It's Zordon dying. It ain't me.
Oh my God.
So she was like, I can't leave. So it's not my problem. Y'all got to do this on yourself. You got to do it on your own.
Aisha's like, you're gonna send a black girl into this? All
right. Like, that's messed up.
That's actually what she's thinking. She just couldn't say it. Dead ass. That's what she was thinking.
She's like, y'all can see these other ones, but y'all ain't got to see me.
That disappointed me. I actually was hoping that she was gonna fight with them.
I thought she was too. I actually thought she was gonna go with them too. But yeah, she's just like, I can't leave because I'll start aging as rapidly as Zordon is right now. Basically, like, I don't want to look like Zordon. Basically,
like,
I don't want to.
I mean, then she was going to die. Like that means that she would have died. So that's what I was thinking.
She was like, I don't want to be in Zordon's case. Like,
I mean, she's like, have you not
yeah.
seen my bod? My bod is hot. I'm giving this up for Zordon?
Right. Okay.
Not.
You want me to give up this? Okay. You want me to give up this hot body to help y'all? Absolutely not. Not doing it.
Absolutely not.
So
not interested.
Not interested. So of course they're like, Dad. So then Fred goes running out. Fred is like, Dad, where are you? Because he sees that Daddy was home, but obviously Dad is not there. So, they're at the construction site. Ivan News is like, look at these mugs. Like, look at them. They work so slow. I'm on a time schedule. Hurry it up. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the parents, they old, they got weak backs and shit, but whatever. So they trying. So then Ivan News is like, I'm bored. Like, give me something to do. Like, give me something. So of course, one of the parents, they start dancing and they like cracking up, laughing at him or whatever. So then, of course, the Tengu comes in, they come flying in. And, he's like, well, did you finish off the Rangers? And it's like, we kind of did, but then we were stopped by Amazon wearing green. And he was like, Dulcia. Oh, damn. Thwarted once again. And so he was like, well, do you want us to, try it again? Like, what's good? And he was like, nah. And he kills him. Like, really, Ivan? Really? You gonna kill him though? That's messed up. So they turn into a pile of feathers. He's mad, and he's just like, well, we gotta hurry up and get these things on the road even faster because they gonna get this power and they gonna come back. So I gotta be ready. So the plan was make sure that the ectomorphicons were created before sundown. Now, mind you, the Rangers are beginning their little safari trip. And they're like, all right, let's do this. So they begin their little walkthrough or whatever. And as they're walking through and stuff, Fred gets to the construction site, which I don't even know how the hell he even realizes that his dad is even there. But anyway, he gets to the little construction area and he finds his dad. And he's like trying to whisper to get his dad's attention, and he can't. So obviously he's freaking out because he's like, oh my God, my dad is under a spell. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Well, cut to the Rangers. They're in this little jungle area. They're walking through. And as they're walking, all of a sudden, this random Triceratops skeleton, ? Pops up and is like trying to kill everybody. And so everybody's doing all these acrobatic things, trying to like get out of the way. Poor Aisha is about to get eaten by this thing. And she is screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm like, oh my God, why are they really coming after this baby? What is going on? Y'all are terrible. Like, y'all are really terrible. First of all, you already had the ooze man kick her into a wall. Now you got this Triceratops dead thing coming after her. Like, y'all really got it out for this black girl, don't you? So then it's like, of course, Rocky tries to save her, and that he gets bitch smacked again.
She knew what was up when Dulcia thought like, nah, bye, I'm leaving you. She's like, really?
Right. She knew.
Send the one black girl into this mission? Really? See, she knew.
She knew what was up. She knew. But you realize though, when Rocky got bitch slapped, Aisha was like, now's my chance. And she hauled ass. I was like, yes, go girl. I'm with you. Go. Baby. I was like, one win for the black girl. Let's do this.
Right?
So of course it sets his eyes on another person of color, poor Adam. So Adam is like, you ain't about to get me. So
you see what I mean? People of color do not last, okay?
Okay, they were like, he was like, no, oh man, you coming to get me? All right, let's do this. So he like, dives underneath the little thing, doing some kind of little frog roll.
Well, that's just it. He's like, first I'm a frog, now you're coming after me? No, right. Not happening. Not today.
He is like, I got enough bad news while I was on this trip. I had to become a frog. Like, I'm just over it. So of course, Kimberly is like, oh no, not me. So Kimberly is running, and basically she gets trapped in a rib cage of another dead animal and is screaming for Tommy's help, obviously. Tommy comes over, saves her life, and almost like, gets killed himself until he pulls out a bone from the thing's neck and the thing just crumbles, which I'm like, hey, that was weird. So, okay. So then, they're like, well, let's hurry up and get out of here, for that thing decided to put itself back together again. And it was like, all right, let's go. So basically, it's sundown, and the people are, getting it together. And they basically got the whole thing all together. Like, they pulled out all the skeleton pieces, and they got those exoskeletons ready to go. And Ivan Ooze goes ahead, and he's like, all right, so y'all did my job. Y'all did the job that I need you to do. Now, go die. Go jump off a cliff. Bye. So, of course, the people are like, all right, let's go do this then. So, the people go, walking out. And, Ivan is like, well, let's go ahead and bring these babies to life. So Ivan fills them up with ooze. I love how he says, ooze, give my creatures life. Life, I tell you, life. I love that scene. But anyway, so, he's like, getting his life while, the things are coming together. And so he shocks them. They come to life, and they're doing their little thing. So then the Rangers are literally like walking through the forest, and they come across the place they need to be. Well, when they actually get there, they have no idea what they're doing. Like, how are we supposed to get this power? But then, of course, the little stone men come to life, and they're like, and one of them cut poor Tommy little outfit, which I'm like, wait a minute. He doesn't spark. So literally, Dulcia gave you cloth clothes. Like, this stuff is not indestructible. Like, you could die. So I'm like, oh wow, Dulcia, you really set them up for failure. You dirty. But anyway, so she went ahead and she did her thing. When they go ahead, they get together and they're like, all right, let's go ahead and fight these little creatures. So they did a little ninjetti. Falcon, the frog, the ape, the crane, the wolf, the bear. And then Aisha almost get her head cut off. For the third time, Aisha is always getting attacked. I'm sick of it. Leave Aisha alone.
You do. She's like, Dulcia is literally sending the one black girl into this mission, and there's a great chance that she might not come out alive.
Aisha was like getting attacked all through this movie, and I'm not here for it. Because like later on, in like maybe like 4 minutes in, like she literally has to crawl inside like a hole and wait for this thing to stop like trying to stab her. I'm like, yo, this is messed up, yo. Like, they really are coming for this girl, and I don't appreciate it. So of course, everybody's like, they're finishing off their little monsters. I could not believe that Billy chopped his in half. Well, the other one chopped Billy's in half as he and Adam were playing seesaw with each other. The rock monster chopped the other rock monster in half, and I'm like, oh shoot, interesting. So that happened. But basically, they all, and then of course Tommy. Well, the other ones defeated each one of theirs, and some got melted, some got squashed. And then Tommy did a spinning bird kick like Chun-Li. Yeah, in that one, it exploded, which created a violent rumbling in the system. That's when the actual power came out and was like, hey, girl, all right, let's do this. Power came through. They went ahead and they were like, adorn us. Give us your power. And so the power went, the little birds and the animals and all of them come flying out. And They adorned them with their power, thus giving them their brand new suits, which is the same suits that they had before, but with just different animal crystals on their chest. And yay, they are now Power Rangers again. So then they leave. Dulcia is like, I knew they could do it. They didn't need my help. And she flies away.
Oh,
so I'm like, girl, you could go there the whole time.
I mean, she's still on her planet.
But that's not the point. She could have helped them.
She could have helped them.
Oh, with that fight. Okay.
She could.
I mean, perhaps that was because for me, the problem that I had with the movie was like the work to actually master the powers.
Right.
So maybe that was their test that they really deserved those powers, and that's why she didn't help them.
Well, regardless, she could have helped them. I was like, that's messed up. You really just let them kids go out there and almost die. But okay, girl.
So basically, if that's true, she just lied to them.
She did. Point blank period.
And the whole idea of Power Rangers, they're supposed to be honest and do the right thing. Just saying.
I mean, please.
Just saying.
Anyway, another thing. When they got their powers restored, I definitely was I the only one that was disappointed that they had the same suits?
No, I was actually disappointed as well because I thought that they were going to have different helmets at least. Mm-hmm. Like I thought that their helmets was going to correlate with their new animals, but nah, they had the same helmets, but just different chest crystals, like chest coins. Yeah.
So when it was actually a similar feeling that I had in when season 3 started, and it's like, oh, so they're just in the same suits that they've been in since the first season, even though they don't have dinosaurs anymore.
Right.
Okay. All right.
It's like, I guess. Yeah. Sure. Sure. So they go ahead, they teleport back to Earth. Mind you, the freaking the Morphicon thingies are running through the city, running amok, scaring people. And Alpha is like, what we gonna do? And Zordon is like, shit is getting real. Coronavirus! And so then, the Rangers come and they see all the destruction. First of all, y'all come late. Like, it's like, dag, like the whole city has been destroyed practically. Mugs probably done died. Like, it's like, what is going on? And they're just like, oh, what happened here? So then, of course, they see the little monsters, little robots. They come out looking all like, hey, y'all. So then they're like, well, let's call out our Zords. So they call them out. You know what I'm saying? The Zords come out. They look kind of crazy. I hate the design of the Zords, but whatever. Yeah. They look terrible. They come out and they fight the little monsters. Now, I know I hate them, but what do you guys? What are your opinions on?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the movie Zords. Those just that CGI was just like awful. Like it really looked bad.
It was terrible. I was like, okay. But my favorite part of that whole scene, though,
I think it's everyone's favorite part. It's everyone's favorite part. Just saying.
I mean, it is everybody's favorite part, but also at the same time, it is literally like the 5th time that this girl has been in danger. Aisha was like, it's time to boogie with the bear.
Oh,
and that thing shot her into the building.
Oh, I'd be
hard. I was like, yo, that's messed up.
That
was so messed up. I mean, old girl was like, I'm ready. And that bear stood up like, yeah, and got shot. I'm like, dang, that's messed up. That is so messed up. Shot her so hard, her doggone chest coin popped off. Because if you notice in the scene,
really?
like look at the scene again. Like her chest coin is not there.
Wow.
It shot it off. So then Rocky comes and he's like, yeah, let me come save the day. So then basically, meanwhile, back on the other side of Angel Grove, Tommy is shooting missiles at monsters and blowing them up. They realize they're like, all right, well, we got one left. What you gonna do, partner? And then Ivan is like, well, I'm about to join this battle. So Ivan go ahead and slide his little monkey behind up in there. And then he's like, well, let me go ahead and finish y'all off. So the Rangers are like, well, shoot, we can't fight like this. Like, we gotta bring it together. So of course they bring the Zords together. But Tommy is like, I got to go save this super train, because you know what I'm saying, these kids on here and the track is broken. So I got to go save them. Now, meanwhile, before this, now Fred then came up to the kids and was like, yo, our parents is in danger. And they was like, they didn't want to listen. They was like, man, screw you. Like, shut up. We trying to have fun. We on this lean. Shut up. And he's like, no, man. Like, listen to me. Listen to me. Like, our parents are going to die. So, of course, like, all the kids is like, yeah, we got to go save our parents, right? Well, that's where they are. So they trying to get to their parents. So Tommy and his Zord is trying to make sure that the whatchamacallums aren't, the train doesn't fall off the track. So the Rangers go ahead, they form the Megazord that looks very weird. And then they fight Ivan Ooze the best they can. So then Tommy basically lays his Zord down and, the train goes on the Zord's back and everybody's all like, yay, we didn't die. So then the Rangers are still fighting Ivan Ooze. Ivan Ooze basically destroys their power sword and then throws them in through a building. So the Rangers are like, oh my God, we are getting our asses beat. Tommy, bring your ass. So then Tommy is like, all right, I'm coming. So then he attaches himself to the back of the Zord and then he comes in and he's like, all right, let's go ahead and head out to space. Well, then the Rangers are flying out. Ivan is like, not without me, you will. So Ivan follows them out into space. Well, the kids finally get to their parents and they try to stop them. Now, how in the hell are you going to try to stop these big ass adults and y'all little kids? But okay, right.
There was a lot of kids.
But you really think them kids are strong enough to hold back them grown ass people? Like, they ain't that strong. So of course they're like, man, what we gonna do? So the little boy Fred was like, well, I'm gonna shoot him with water. So he asked Bulk and Skull to power up the water so that he can start dousing them. So of course the people getting pushed back because basically you hosing them. That's a lot of water pressure. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but that's like a whole, like, they were hosing them people down. Like, that's water pressure. That mess hurts. And the kids was getting hit with that junk too. So they was getting hurt. Them kids were probably bruised. Like, that's messed up. But anyway, so as Fred is hosing down everybody, they fly past, the Rangers and Ivan Ooze fly past the palace. And Rita and Zed are like, kill him! Get him. So, of course, the Rangers are doing their little thing. And, of course, they try to fight. To no avail, obviously. Ivan Ooze is whooping that ass. Because, of course, he's Ivan Ooze. So, Rocky, so, of course, like, the little, whatchamacallit, is coming. And, the comment is coming and they're like, what we gonna do? And then Aisha's like, well, let me handle this. Let a sister handle this. I've been getting attacked throughout this entire doggone movie. Doggone it, I'm gonna save the day. So Aisha goes ahead, she pulls the leg out. And basically she, had his Zord knee Ivan Ooze in the crotch. And Ivan Ooze lets go and he flies away and they all fly away as Ivan Ooze get hit by Orion's comet. So then the destruction of Ivan Ooze causes everybody to get saved and come to Jesus. Then they get back to the command center where they hold hands and pray, and Zordon ends up, coming back alive. And
he real quick, he was legit dead when they got back. So
he was like legit dead.
That was something to see.
Right. They basically so basically they did their thing. Zordon, came back. After that, the Rangers are like, all right, let's do this. They all happy. They're, doing their little thing and stuff. And they at Ernie's, which first of all, Ernie must have, I don't know what Ernie's this is. These mugs had crab legs and all sorts of. I'm like, yo, and they probably ain't paid for that because everything always in the house. So I'm like, this is why Ernie is always broke. This is why. So of course,
and that Ernie's was huge.
It was huge. And Fred comes over and he's like, hey, what's good? What's goody? And they're, congratulating him because he did his thing and they were so proud of him or whatever. And basically, Aisha was like, you could be a ranger yourself one of these days. And he was like, for real? I mean, I'm like, you talking to him. I mean, come on now. And so the Rangers are like, you'll be good, man. You'll be good. So then, he's like, I'll be the Gold Ranger. But no, he's like, I'll be the Silver Ranger. But yeah, I'll be the Gold Ranger. And Kimberly was like, no. She was like, bruh, chill out. Like, you're doing the most. So then the fireworks begin and they all, go up and they're like, oh my God, look at the fireworks. And, it was like, congratulations, thank you, Power Rangers. And Bulk and Skull done doing all that lying. And they're like, what about us? You ain't did nothing. So then Kimberly and Tommy, look at little fireworks and they're like, oh my God. Oh. And the end. Or is it? Well, Morden and Goldar are like, hey, we gonna go ahead and we gonna run this ship while everything's going on. And all of a sudden, it was Jesus. Lord Zed and Rita comes in and they're like, what you think you doing? And they're like, oh shit. The end.
And that was the perfect spot for that uh-oh song to come on.
Right. Perfect.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Something's coming along and it's bust our bubble. First of all, the soundtrack was actually a good soundtrack.
It was
it was actually a cute soundtrack. It was really cute.
I loved it.
So I mean, guys, real quick. So is this movie it's legendary. I mean, it's basically it really is like the foundation of our childhood when we think of Power Rangers. I mean, it was the height of Power Rangers. It was like everything that Power Rangers was at the time. Looking back at it and we're going through it and everything, do you wish that things could have been changed, or you're just like, you know what, this movie is just the best at what it is?
I think I'll have to say exactly just that. I feel like for what it was, for what it gave us, it was amazing. We didn't question it. We didn't really think about it because, well, for one, we were really young. But I felt like it entertained us right through. It kept us engaged. It had fun songs. It had cute sayings. And it did so much activities that kept us keen because we were kids then. So we needed something to keep our attention. And it did just that. So I felt like it achieved what it needed to achieve. And yeah, I wouldn't, other than if you want to go into technicalities, then I would definitely say the costume could have been better. But overall, as a movie, it kept us entertained. The songs were at the right places. The jokes were at the right puns. It was perfect the way it was.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, personally, yeah, loved it. Out of all three, I would probably say that's my most favorite of all three. And if I had to choose which one to watch today, right now, that would be it.
True. I feel you. Will?
I think maybe there'd be two changes that I would make. just like the journey to getting the powers, I think would have been a little bit different. Maybe if it could have either took a little bit longer for them to get to Dosia, or the stuff that was cut out of them training
Right.
to really harness the powers, that really sounded interesting.
Right.
I'm
Right.
upset
Right.
that we didn't get that. And then I would have liked to have seen a little bit, and this would have been difficult because it's an ensemble cast, but to focus more on the individual Rangers and what their roles
Mm-hmm.
were in the team. I think that would
Right.
have
Right.
been
Right.
pretty cool. Other
I
than
mean, you
that,
actually.
that
No, I was gonna say like you actually forgot that Billy was smart in this movie.
yeah, like there was no sort of hints that he was a genius
Right.
at all.
Right.
Like he was just there.
He was just there. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everybody was just kind of there. Like Tommy got the most because he was the leader, and then Kimberly was his girlfriend, so she like it was kind of them. Oh God, it was very reminiscent of Time Force. Everybody else was
Basically, yeah.
in the
Yeah. It was
background.
like, yeah, it was just like the guy and the girl and then everybody else. You know.
Yeah, at least Aisha did get that big moment at the end.
She did, and I like it was warranted. Like they had to give that to her because during the and that's actually the one thing that I'm like, if I had to change anything, it would be that is the fact that they made Aisha the damsel in distress, and I'm like, that is not her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I I didn't like that it was constantly Aisha in danger, especially with her being like as sassy and little Miss Sassy as she was, you know, it was just like I didn't think of her as a damsel in distress, but she was basically the damsel of the movie. So it was just kind of like, all right, I'll take it, I guess. But I mean, you know, it, it was kind of weird to see, especially with Kimberly being the actual damsel in distress. Like she was technically the real damsel in distress on the show. But it was just like to have Aisha be it, it was just like, all right. But other than that, I thought that I thought that it was fine. Like, I mean, I wouldn't change anything. I really wouldn't. I mean, other than, I would have liked to see a little more exposition, a little more explaining things. So I feel like they over explain some things and under explain other things. So I would have liked a little more balance with that. Which I just kind of felt like with all the rewriting it with the scripts, some stuff was just going to get lost regardless. They had to trim the fat and they had to trim some stuff. And it was just like, all right, well, what are we going to keep? What are we going to cut? That kind of thing. And it kind of got a little unbalanced. But as a whole, I think that the movie was, I think it was good. I really do think, and I have to agree with Lena. If I had to choose one just randomly just to watch, it would be this one. Like, just because it's fun. Now, if I had to choose a movie that I'm like, oh, I want to sit down and have like a date movie, it would probably either be a toss up between this one or the 2017 movie.
For me, it'd be
like
2017.
Yeah, like it depends on the mood for me, depending on what's going on. Like if I'm just like I just want a movie to watch, definitely 1995, absolutely. If I want like something with drama, 2017. If I'm just looking at something just to be like, I'm bored, Turbo. But but other than that, I mean, like, I thought this movie was cool. So, if you guys liked our review, definitely let us know. Comment on the things that you like. Let us know what you didn't like. We really appreciate it. Also, just as a heads up, y'all, we have some things coming down the line that we were going to talk about in the next episode. So please stay tuned. And we will also be announcing this on our Instagram page as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So keep tuning in, keep listening, because we're definitely going to be asking some questions to make sure that y'all listening. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely, let us know what you think. Tell your friends. Tell everybody, like, yo, like, these three, they popping. Like, listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come give us a listen. And, enjoy yourself. But anywho, once again, my name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.